I would invite you to go back to that period. I mean, when it first kicked off, I was very vocal in Parliament, raising the issue to the Home Secretary and to the Prime Minister at the time, because I obviously had a few cases of my own that I was handling here for people that were caught up in that scandal. Because, you see, that scandal was preventable and it should have never happened. And the fact that it did, in my opinion, it's a huge, huge stain and mark on the government to have allowed that to happen, because it was preventable. And, I'm hoping that we don't see another scandal with Brexit and those EU citizens that are here and have been here for decades, and when they need to apply for their settled status, that, there aren't any challenges to that happening, because it's not good enough to treat people. There were people died following the Windrush scandal. People lost their lives. People lost their homes. People lost their jobs. People lost their pensions and their social security that they had because of that scandal. It's unacceptable, and I think the compensation scheme that they have, frankly, in my opinion, could be better, because they've capped it at a certain level. But actually, if you're really going to compensate people, then you should probably look at how much did they lose, what were not just the financial losses, but emotionally, physically, mentally, all of these things. As I say, never forget that people lost their lives because of it. And that's a scandal.
And cases are still going on?
My cases have been resolved that I had. But that's not to say that it didn't happen. It should never have happened. I think that's the important thing. It should never have happened. Yeah. And I just, I commend my colleagues that, fought, the likes of David Lammy, myself and others, Dawn Butler MP and Diane Abbott MP and others, who really stood up and just absolutely held the government to account over this. It was outrageous.